Welcome to the France 24 Observers, the show that's based on our network of ordinary people who are our eyes and ears around the world. We begin today on a university campus in Gabon, Central Africa, with what began as a hazing incident and ended up with special forces troops being sent in. It started when 11 students were arrested, accused of bullying another student. Our observer Norbert has the story.
We thought the 11 students had been wrongly arrested, so we decided to hold a demonstration. The police were the first to move in. They tried to disperse us using tear gas and warning shots. We fought back by throwing stones. Then they called in the Red Berets, the special forces, to get the job done. It was after they came in that everything happened on the campus. People getting humiliated, even cut with knives. They made some people cross the campus on their knees, holding all their things. It was a way of showing who was boss. They took dirty water from the gutter, and poured it on some of the students. I saw the soldiers go for one guy who had just shown up. They forced him to his knees, tied his hands behind his back, put grass on his head and made him grovel on the ground. Then they made him sing obscene songs. I've never seen that kind of mistreatment, that kind of humiliation. I wonder if it was because there was a big political rally happening the same day. The president was due to appear. I think that's why he ordered the special forces in, because he confused our spontaneous demonstration with something that was political. It was the worst violence I've ever seen on our campus.
To Abidjan in Ivory Coast now, and a racket at the city's bus and taxi stations. Theoretically, the young men known as Nyombro are there to reduce congestion by rustling up passengers, but they have turned their job into a lucrative racket, one they enforce with weapons known as crocodile teeth.
The Nyombros are young men who help find passengers for taxis and buses. They're at all the regular stops. When the vehicle arrives, either a communal taxi or a minibus, they find clients so the vehicle can quickly load up. In return, they get a sum that can vary according to their mood. It can be between 50 and 300 francs, that's 10 to 40 euro centimes. The amount can cause friction. I was going to work one day when I saw this scene. I got my camera out and filmed it. The taxi was stuck because the driver refused to pay what the Nyombro was asking. You can see the guy using crocodile's teeth. That's a sort of club studded with nails that they put under the car's tires. Some of the Nyombros resort to physical violence. When that happens, the passengers have to get out of the taxi and wait for the next one. It's a real menace. It happens everywhere. It drives people crazy. It's really scary to have to witness this kind of scene. The Nyombros pay kickbacks to the police, so the police end up doing nothing. I know these young men have to work, but they should find a way of doing it without violence. It doesn't make any sense.
And now for our weekly roundup of other images and stories sent in by our observers. First stop, Burkina Faso, where a popular uprising forced longtime President Blaise Compaoré to quit last month. Burkinabés see it as a historic moment, and enterprising salesmen have turned it into an opportunity. DVDs, photos, books, all kinds of souvenirs. If you're looking for something more special, you can even find objects looted from the homes of former officials. You have to move fast, though. The police are beginning to crack down and have already made several arrests. Guinea, the country at the origin of the latest outbreak of Ebola. The French NGO Médecins Sans Frontières wanted to build a new treatment center in the capital, Conakry, so they decided to hold an informational meeting. But the locals refused to listen and instead dismantled the tents. Our observer Boubacar Diallo tells us the opposition was led by a group of young men who liked to play football nearby. They were apparently afraid the patients might contaminate them. The NGO says the centre will only be set up if the locals agree. They are starting a new round of meetings. Saudi Arabia now. This is the bedroom given to Narjalen de Guia Mendez, a Filipino maid by her employer, a former police official. It is a laundry room, and her bed is in a closet. In a video on her Facebook page, the young woman says her employer also beat her. The Philippine embassy helped get her out, but many other domestic workers live in similar conditions. Under Saudi law, they are not allowed to organize. So groups trying to help them, like the one run by our observer, have to work in secret. Last stop today, Algeria, the Souk Aras district in the northeast. A civic pride project dreamt up by a group of online activists. They call it the Staircase Revolution. The idea is to beautify their towns by painting the steps in public spaces. A project where imagination has no limits. That's it for this week. As always, you can find more reports from our observers on our website, on our Facebook and Twitter pages, and on our apps for mobiles. I'll see you next time.